Crypto Morning Tea. Good morning, everybody. It's September 10th, 2021. My name's Piano Matty B. That is Scaramouche. And this is your Morning TA. A brief glimpse into the crypto markets, where the sun's shining, where the wind's blowing, all the humble opinion of his piano. Zamboni bringing the data. The FOMO index has creeped up 1 to 46 from yesterday's 45. And nosy Miss Nussbaum's social media market sentiment in a rent control department in Queens is at 73%, which means every time people talk about Bitcoin, it has a 73% positivity rate. Bitcoin dominance has inched up to 41.4%. 24-hour volume has dropped to 134.8 billion, and the overall market cap is 2.09 trillion. Give or take 100 million. Over on the daily, we're still clinging to the 200 moving average for support, both financially and morally, as price action regains its composure after this week's flash dump. It's been seeking therapy in the arms of the accumulatrix. My dad eye is watching the 50 moving average creep up, but the 50 is the Rodney Dangerfield of moving averages. No respect, and no one really talks about it till they absolutely can't avoid it, and it usually stays well enough alone. From price action. It's like the buddy with the truck. When you need to move or haul a load to the dump, you give him a call. When you don't, you basically never see him. Over on the 4-hour, the 20 moving average is crossed down over the 20, looking to win the love of price action once again. We know Bitcoin has a weakness for the 20 and tends to get caught up in its on again, off again toxic relationship. Over the past 24 hours, we've built our floor of support around our window of 45.5. And I'm hoping this is the jump-off marker for this weekend's pump. We can see how, like a dirty shirt, the 20 is doing its best. Can I have this dance? In our Gavotte triangle. Hopefully the dance floor gets too crowded with the 20's two left feet, and price action skedads to the upside. My dad eye likes the MACD crossing right there, and simultaneously is disappointed with the low ticket sales. But a life of quiet, reserved disappointment is part of the dad gig. And alas, the information on the 4-hour chart is like house league hockey, where everyone gets a participation ribbon, and ultimately taken with a grain of speculative salt. On the daily, and in my reflective cold hand of reality moments, I have to confront the notion of this new lower low that we've encountered, and what that potentially means for our current trend. I ask myself, are we rounding a top? And before we all lose it, I don't mean the top, I don't mean the bull run top. I mean this current trend top. Are we going to pull back up to 50K only to form the dreaded head and shoulders pattern and then wick the last candlestick down to the 23% fib level before this bull run plays out? I mean, a lot of people would argue that we simply don't have enough time to see this scenario play out. And to that, I would have to throw out one of my favorite dad quotes, and that is, the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. And that it's simply a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. Now, these are just thoughts I have when I'm by myself late at night watching reruns of Barney Miller and Night Court. This time restraint we put on the bull run can work as a double-edged confirmation bias sword. When we're running out of time, we look for Hail Mary pumps to catch up and keep us in time. As far as we even understand, or dare I say, speculate its efficiency. And we're making too good a time, we start dreading pullbacks in order to rein us back in. Now, of course, as a dad, I am a proponent for data and information. And although I will never read a map to save my life, I do adhere to historical events and trends as far as its influence, both real and perceived, to where the market is going. And now perhaps I'll take a page from and quote the greatest timekeeper of all, Led Zeppelin's John Bonham. When asked about how he constructs his solo in Moby Dick every night, he said, and I quote, "With Zeppelin, I try to play something different every night. Sometimes I play a short one, and sometimes I play a long one. I like to keep the audience guessing because it's the not knowing and the spontaneity that keeps it interesting. The audience knows where it's going. They just don't know how long it's going to take to get there. So remember, we're playing the same game as our psychopathic elected lead. That's right, it's the long game. So zoom out and have a fantastic day." And it's Friday, so sing me out. 3, 4. Ch-ch-ch-ching. Have a great weekend, everybody.